Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Marcus Case, Director of CAMS Training and Development for Mesa Life Resource Center. CAMS stands for Certified Anger Management Specialist, but we also have another program or department that I oversee as well, and that's talent acquisition. And with talent acquisition, we have the role of a talent acquisition partner. This brief video is going to detail what that responsibility is, the benefits of it, and also the payment structure that's associated with it. So be patient with me. Hold on for one moment as I get ready to share my screen with you. As you can see, it's a talent acquisition partner. I'm gonna move my screen over a bit to be able to read this verbatim. The talent acquisition partner role is commission based. There is absolutely no cold calling involved. I would say most people don't necessarily like cold calling because customers can be brutal at times, and we understand that aspect. Healthy compensation is provided. Our system for outreach and recruitment is on autopilot. We already have a system set up where we don't have to do anything. I like to call it a machine. You turn a machine on and it goes, just very similar to a washer or dryer. You put the clothes in the clothes in the washer, you put the detergent in, you hit the button, and it's on autopilot. It goes, and that's very similar to how the machine that we have set up goes as well. So individuals chosen for this role can be a talent acquisition partner and class facilitator if he or she chooses. Now, sometimes what we find is that the investment to be a certified anger management specialist is not within that person's reach at that particular time. If a person wanted to use the talent acquisition partner as an offset, that individual can use the revenue that they gain from that position to pay for that if they really, really wanted to be a trainer and a talent acquisition partner. You do not have to be both. You can choose to be either or. You can be a talent acquisition partner. You also can be a certified anger management specialist, be able to provide the programming and the services that we provide. It is totally, totally up to you. Moving forward, the talent acquisition partner responsibilities consist of the following in no specific order: input into overall hiring strategy of the organization to ensure a diverse set of qualified individuals, ensure staffing needs of the company are being met with long-term talent strategy in mind. We want longevity. We're one company, many partners, but we're also a family. We desire that longevity, that consistency with individuals. We don't do short-term thinking. We have long-term vision because we're not only servicing the community, but we're servicing one another. Thirdly, to coordinate with the talent acquisition director to identify staffing needs. Those individuals will work one-on-one with me. We will have some meetings coordinated and structured where we can deliberate, brainstorm, and see what the needs that we have are. Fourthly, determine selection criteria for candidates by liaising or being a liaison with the talent acquisition director and director team. With the training that we're going to provide to the talent acquisition partners, they'll already know what criteria that we look for. But I can tell you one of the pieces of the criteria is being teachable, being able to be teachable, having integrity, and being consistent. Those are TAC. So that's something to consider moving down the line, but we'll also provide additional training for those individuals who become talent acquisition partners. Two more: identify and refine the most suitable talent from available candidates, and plan, interview, and well, that's the type. I apologize. Plan, interview, the selection procedures, including screening calls, and assessments. So basically, the schedule this is already everything. I won't say everything out of the process. Out of if I would give you a percentage out of 100%, I would tell you that at least 80 to 85% of the process is automated. Whether it comes to the ad that people apply to, then there's a few emails that's sent. And then once those emails are sent, the applicants set up their own appointments. It's really on autopilot, 80 to 85% of the time. The heavy part, the heavy lifting part is just connecting with the individuals and interviewing them and seeing if they are a great fit for the organization and the family. Moving forward, excuse me, also assess the candidate's information, including resume and cover letters. Keep records of all materials used for recruitment, including interview notes and related paperwork to share with key stakeholders. Miss Casey Waller, our director of operations, and myself, we have binders of source dedicated specifically to interviews. Our expectation is that talent acquisition partners will mimic the same model. Keeping records of all material used. Yeah, we touched on that. Proficiency in document process and keeping up with industry trends. We want people that's going to be able to look at this process and refine it, streamline it, make it more effective, make it more efficient for us. And also keeping up with the different industry trends in terms of employment. We had a high influx of individuals interested in becoming either a trainer or a franchise owner sometime last year. So there are peaks and valleys and fluctuation in the market that will produce a influx or some type of decrease in people being appealed or attracted to this opportunity. But to understand those industry trends would be significant. And lastly, excellent interpersonal and communication skills. A person that's personable, a person that's not rigid, a person that's open to listen and learn from people from different cultural backgrounds, but also a person that's not so rigid and in the box where we disqualify people from being part of the opportunity from a place of criteria that's non-existent, that's something that's not relevant to us. So to tap example, you have this is our outreach efforts in last quarter of last year. 3 new franchise owners, 5 camps. So let's just say that you're a talent acquisition partner and your efforts bring in these numbers here. The total equates to roughly $1,000. Talent acquisition partners get 70%. They get 70% of the people that they bring in. And when I say that, I mean the recruitment. I mean people that they interview with, that they identify as qualified candidates. One other additive to this process is that we do our trainings quarterly. And what that means is that we have a whole slew of people that we interview with up to the point of the next training. For example, our next training, as I'm recording this video, is March 15th. No, it's March 25th and 26th of 2022. Now, from January up until, let's say, March the 3rd, we're doing interviews. We may extend it a week or so, but we had to consider the paperwork, the application process, and the work that the admin team has to get done in order to position these people to be able to attend that March 25th and 26th training. The reason why I'm saying that is that when you in a TAP position, the talent acquisition partner, that pay you don't receive pay until that deadline, that payout, because we pay out the 15th and the 29th of each month. So if you were in this position where you were as a TAP, you would get paid that roughly $700 on March the 15th based on your efforts from January to March, whatever the 3rd, with the payout being the 15th. So that's a crucial part and an essential part that I wanted to share. That's why as one of the directors, I believe that being a trainer is a good offset for that. But a person could do it if they had a traditional job or went to school. And I'll tell you this, because I don't want to give you too many details. This video, this is just supposed to be brief, but I'm a teacher by nature, so I like to give details for understanding purposes. A vast amount of our interviews take place in the morning. We do have some interviews take place in the evening, but it's just based on the availability schedule that we set. Now, we set an availability schedule that's open from 9 to 9 p.m. Then if you work during the morning and you got off and you want to do 3, 4, or 5 interviews in the evening, that's totally up to you. So if you work at night and you feel as though you got enough perseverance to do interviews in the morning or afternoon, that's totally up to you. Therefore, you can fit it around your schedule. If you work or go to school, or maybe you already have a business of sorts, that's totally up to you. We just will communicate with the director team, and we will see how we can strategize that it accommodate you to put you in a position for earning additional revenue and freedom. Last but not least, interviews take normally 40 to 45 minutes. Sometimes they take an hour, depending on how much information we give, but we will supply you with the training. We'll supply you with the experience and the content to be able to make those interviews go expediently. But if you have any questions and you're watching this video, feel free to respond to the email that was sent. The email comes from marcus@mazeoflifecenter.com. Feel free if you got any questions, any comments, or any feedback. We are here to serve. I'm stopping my share. Thank you for watching this brief presentation about the talent acquisition partner position. We look forward to working with you and seeing you soon. Have an awesome day.